Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now Lumary is a brand whose products I use on a daily basis. Most specifically, well, here we are in my home studio. I am leveraging Lumary lighting products on my walkway outside. I am leveraging Lumary products, and in today's video, well, changing it up a little bit because here we have the Lumary Smart Bird Feeder Cam Pro. Why a bird feeder cam? I don't know. Because I'm curious, and I have a lot of birds around here. Actually, a ton. It's almost like a bird sanctuary. There are so many birds around my house, and they're beautiful. I have amazing birds, huge variety of species, and I'm just like, what do I have here? Now, I have some ideas, but I'd really love to capture some footage. I was doing some research, came across this, and was like, wow, that would just be an awesome addition, not only for my backyard enjoyment, but to continue on really looking at and evaluating Lumary products. Now, so far, I've had mixed results. Some have been very good. Some have been okay. It's just the fact that these technologies are growing, and they're growing at a rapid pace. So these companies are trying to put out innovative and just high quality products at an extreme rate. But sometimes there are improvements to be had. So I'm curious, how will this perform? Will it give me a great user's experience? Will it identify all my birds? I have no idea, but there's only one way to figure it out, and that's to get into it. And so with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Lumary who did provide this for review. And so now, as we get into this, well, I gotta get set up for my studio lighting, so leveraging my Lumary app here. Very straightforward, turning off the lights, bada bing, bada boom. Now I'm in review mode. But again, the Lumary Smart Bird Feeder Cam Pro. What makes this the Pro? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. That it's very, very possible they have had pre-existing different models, and then this one here at this time they do consider to be the Pro. And as we get into this here, in essence, this is going to be live feed. This is going to have motion detection, supports memory cards, color night vision, two-way audio in case you want to talk to your birds. Who knows? Or, you know, I could yell at the squirrels because they're probably going to get to this thing first. But as much as anything else, the ability to record in 1080p, which is definitely cool. You'll see that we are going to have the ability to potentially feed hummingbirds, and then it has a solar panel. So the Pro here is going to have everything we need to keep this thing operational out in the field with no need to supply power. Of course, always coming with your setup manuals. Here you have a little mounting template, which we'll take a look at. And then a bracket, your hummingbird feeders, the rooftop, little perch, solar panel, mounting hardware and cables, band clamps, some additional accessories, and the main unit itself, which includes both the camera and the antenna. So you can see there is a charging port, so I'm sure we're going to have to give this a good quality charge first thing. But as we get into this here, I'll bring you through the entire setup so you can see how easy or how difficult it is. Here's the user manual, what's in the box, and actually this pretty much is showing you what you need to do to get it set up. And another smaller user manual, so you do kind of have two. This appears to be running you through the app, where this here is multiple languages and shows you more of the actual setup. So first off, with the camera, you can tip this forward, which allows you access to both your charging port and then your power button and the ability to install your memory card. Which is just a little bit of a bummer because this does not seem to come with a memory card, but luckily I have a whole bunch of them, and I don't know. I gotta find one that I think can record the HD footage, and hopefully this one will do it. So Getting this down and into place. I'm hoping this gives me the ability to format. You might need a little something to kind of pop that down into place, but that did go. Again, here is your power button. So that should be the ability to turn the unit on and off. Oop, which I did by accident, but there you go. So that's probably something I didn't need to do just yet. Turning it back off. This tray here does go directly into place. You'll see simple little toggle, which you'll see this snapping right into the front. And then with that exposed, simply taking this little screw here and just getting that into place. It doesn't want to go completely vertical, and I don't really want to stress on the threads, but yeah, it pretty much goes. So you're going to take that and thread it in till it's just about vertical, and that's nice and tight. The roof having some posts, and then you'll see this tab as we take a look at the base. Again, some spaces, and then the ability for that tab to index over the top. So there's really only one way for this to go. Putting it vertical, snapping it down, and then twisting it into place. That's very simple. And so at this point, we have a number of different ways we can consider mounting. This is actually pretty neat. So you could leverage this to put it on a tripod if you have the appropriate tripod to handle this type of an adapter. This simply goes right in the bottom, so you can see that will press into place. This will go right into the bottom, and you just snap that in place. That's going to be pretty cool. Or you can use the bigger and larger adapter in a couple of different ways. You can mount through the bottom holes. You can mount through the back. You can actually use straps. So if you wanted to strap this, you can certainly leverage the band clamps. I need to figure out how I'm going to mount this still. I haven't thought about that quite yet. And I'm going to come up with a solution that I hope encourages the birds, yet detracts from the other critters, most specifically the squirrels. But we'll see. So at this point, I'm simply going to charge this up. You can see there's actually a charging port right on the back, which will allow me to give this a good solid charge right out of the box. And then I will transition to the solar panel. So with that, taking a quick look at the solar panel. This is what they're calling Type C, so I'm assuming they mean USB Type C 3-watt solar panel. Again, coming with the instructions, the small panel, a mounting sticker, the hardware, and a bracket. So my solution here for this entire bird feeder system needs to account not only for the bird feeder itself, but also the solar panel. So you can see here, very simple, nice low key. I have a good amount of sun, literally southern facing all day sun. So this should be more than adequate to keep me charged and at the ready for my bird watching capabilities. So with that, I'm going to focus now on my installation, and then I'll move to the next step. Now I decided that for my mounting needs, I would make a pole out of a piece of 1.5-inch PVC. I'd get myself a couple of caps, and then on top of that, I would fill the entire thing with concrete. Now I thought this would be a great way to make a nice sturdy pole, something that's not going to bend, something that's not going to give way under the weight of the bird feeder and not blow around too much in the wind. And this would give me the perfect means to mount the bracket, so you can see leveraging the hose clamps. But then I also needed to account for the solar panel. Now you'll notice that the solar panel does come with a bracket, but for my needs, it was a little bit bigger than the actual cap, and I need this to go on the top of the pole. So I found a perfect size washer and a nice coarse thread wood screw. I screwed down through the top of the PVC, leveraging the inside portion of the bracket. It actually worked out perfect where there is a space in the bracket that gave me the right amount of space to put this bolt, put the washer, and thread everything together and this literally went right on top of the cap. So all in all, not only did this accommodate the bird feeder, but it was a perfect way to accommodate both the bird feeder and the solar panel on the same pole. And you can see here, as I get everything adjusted, mounting the bird feeder in general proximity to the solar panel, overall this will work well. Now I also opted to work from my deck, which gave me the ability to get everything mounted up in a controlled situation, and then I was able to bring this to its final destination. But now with the solar panel connected right to the camera in the bird feeder, everything's set up real easy, nice and ready to go. Now in terms of filling this with the bird seed, very simple. You raise the hatch, which is basically the roof, fill it full of bird seed, and now in my case, I can move this to the final position. I think I will play with this over time. I definitely have some pros and cons to my particular location, but you can see I put it in the corner of the yard. Now you will need to load an app. This for me is something where I feel a little bit kind of like, do I really want another app? But there is not much of a choice. I have other apps that leverage video cameras. It would be nice to be able to use those, but at the same time, this is very simple where you download the app, get it loaded on either Android or iPhone. In my particular case, I did use Android. You load the bird feeder unit and then you give it a name. Everything connects extremely easy and you're ready to roll. Now, as we take a look at some of the footage, you do have the ability to record on the spot. So this is me hitting record and watching the footage. Now, there is no sound here, which is funny, but when the actual camera picks up motion, you'll notice that it does pick up audio and there are some birds. It's late in the evening, but definitely some activity as the light goes down. Now, this is the infrared camera. I think if I had the camera adjusted up more, I'd see more of the yard, but at this point, it's focused more on the bird feeder. Then you also have what's called sort of like the color mode. So this is in the middle of the night, but this is the color mode. It's almost midnight here. And then early in the morning as the light starts to come up, again, this is as I triggered the recording, so there's not much in the way of audio, unfortunately. But again, when this triggers, you'll see, well, I finally get my first customer. My first bird here appears to be a Baltimore Oriole. Nice, beautiful bird. It did find its way to the bird feeder and had itself at least the investigation for where it can find a snack. But I did find that, unfortunately, as I suspected, I got a squirrel pretty quick. You can see him peeking out of the corner of the camera. Very curious. He never got down onto the tray, but he's definitely looking around. And more than any other bird, the black-capped chickadees absolutely finding this quickly and getting themselves a good snack. And so, all right, guys, there you have it. A look at the Lumary Smart Bird Feeder Cam Pro. Now, all in all, that went very well. Not a lot to the actual setup of the unit itself, but of course for me, I went a little bit above and beyond to try to get myself a setup that's going to be semi-permanent, something that's robust, gives me the ease of adjustability as I need to, the ability to put that bird feeder in locations throughout my yard depending on sort of how my needs adapt and change over time. Now, in terms of the bird's ability to find it, I mean, at this point, you've seen it. I've only had what looks to be a couple of birds, but it's only been 24 hours in service. I had the one squirrel kind of peeking in, and I think that's probably going to be a problem. So chances are pretty good I'm going to have to move it. Now, what are my takeaways? Overall, it's a cool product. I do have to say, I like it quite a bit. It adds to my entertainment value, but it also adds a little bit of security value, which is really nice. The ability to get another angle on my yard. I already have a camera system, but this adds an additional component kind of to that. Now, with the pros come the cons. I'm not a big fan of adding another app, and especially something that I don't know whether or not I can truly trust it. I'm not certain that in my opinion, that's really a viable option, much beyond just running the actual bird feeder camera itself. I'm not looking to add other security features. I'm not looking to add additional security cameras. So for me, that's really kind of standalone. So to have an app, to have to sign up for an account, to have video going out into the World Wide Web this day and age, hard to say how I feel about it. But it is cool, and I can definitely say it functions very well. Now, there are other things you can do, like, for example, signing up for their sort of more premium services, which allow some intelligence, artificial intelligence that can identify birds and which species and things like that. So for me, I'm probably not going to go that far. I don't want to sign up for those additional services. I don't want to have my email and passwords all tied to that stuff right now. So from a testing perspective, I can say this was definitely functional. If you're somebody that's going to invest further into this, I could see getting some more of the advanced features and maybe the subscription-based software. But all in all, again, very cool. And so again, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Lumary who did provide this for review. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor. Take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. At this point, that channel is growing quickly. I have a ton of videos up there. So if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.